Caged Aggression 18 next level rolls along. Heading to the octagon right now is Jake Childers, 5'8", 155 pounds, fighting out of Peoria, Illinois, and Central Illinois Combat Club. 12 wins and 4 losses, and is fighting on short notice, man. So you know he's ready to fight. Bob Long has him ready. Those guys are ready at all times.
And a weight class up, too. Normally, Jake Childers fights at 145 pounds. He's won titles at 145 pounds. This kid is overall just a tough, gritty SOB. He's in here for a fight, and he's not going to bring anything less than that.
The champ is making his way to the ring. Josh Neal, 5'10", 155 pounds, fighting out of Silvis, Illinois, and TSG Combat Sports. His current record is 6 wins and 2 losses. Sat a little bit with him yesterday before weigh-ins, and he was extremely calm, like, you know, joking around, totally relaxed. The weight cut wasn't too big of a deal for him, so he was just ready to jump in here and show everybody what he has.
He looks good. He looked calm walking out. He seemed confident. Weight cut wise, I'm sure he has no problem. He asked me a while ago about some weight cutting advice, and if anybody knows the type of weight I can cut about 30 pounds in 5 days and still be able to fight the next day. So, I mean, Neal's looking good. He looks ripped up. He looks ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout is scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds for the Caged Aggression Amateur Lightweight Championship, powered by Ducky's Formal Wear in Galesburg. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighed in at 153 1/2 pounds. He trains at the Central Illinois Combat Club. Joining us from Peoria, Illinois, he's your former Caged Aggression Amateur Featherweight Champion, Jake Childers. And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighed in at 155 1/2 pounds. He trains at TSG Combat Sports. Joining us from Silvis, Illinois, he's your current Caged Aggression Amateur Lightweight Champion, Josh Neal.
Your referee for this title fight is the boss, Bruce Allen. We have 5 3-minute rounds scheduled. Childers in the red corner, Neal in the blue corner. Jeremy J.D. Dorsey, Jordan, the Hitman Henchman.
It's all
Why
good.
do I keep doing that?
It just rolls off the tongue that way, baby. Bret Hart and me were basically boys.
I'm gonna get it right.
Trained in the dungeon in Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
I didn't see you in any purple spandex though, so.
You should see the sunglasses. And there we have a takedown by Jake Childers, and I'd expect nothing less out of this guy. He's a grinder. He can do this for 5 rounds. Josh Neal has his work cut out for him today. Oh, yeah, and he's not a grinder of he's just going to hold you down. He's a grinder as in I'm going to damage you and punish you the whole time you're beneath me.
He's got one hook in a weird position right in front of me here.
Probably a little bit too early to be looking too deep into a submission, but
not necessarily. JD, both guys are still pretty strong. If Childers feels he's the stronger of the 2 competitors, he might latch onto something and give her everything he has to try to finish this early. I mean, that's what I'd want to do with Josh Neal. I'd want to beat him as quick as I can, not let it drag out.
yeah, and Childers probably being smart by trying to keep it on the ground as well.
That's
He's
where
got one arm across the throat.
That's where he's comfortable at, too. Josh Neal doing a good job avoiding any real major damage, but he has Childers stuck to him like a backpack. School is in session.
I think Jordan's been speaking on it all night long, how this is a chess match, this sport. And right here, we've got a perfect example of that going on right now.
you know, a lot of time guys don't think too far ahead of what they're doing, but the move you do sets up the next move that you do based on the move that the guy does trying to defend your first move. It's crazy.
If that isn't chess, I don't know what is.
It literally is. It's not just a sport of brutes. We're not, you know, we're not ogres. We are intelligent people looking out there to find scientific ways to finish fights.
He's not under the chin, but he could work for a neck crank here.
Switches to a body triangle. Neal's going to have to roll to his right side, help take some of that pressure off. Look to secure an arm.
Neal could get his leverage. He might be able to spin over and get top mount, but that body triangle looks pretty tight.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to do. No time left in the round. Been all Jake Childers here in the first round.
And like you said, that whole first round was a grind, but not a grind where you didn't see someone, you know, not taking advantage of it and not being offensive with that grind. Childers the entire time was landing shots while he was grinding Neal out.
Yeah, he gained dominant position and he stuck with it. He used his shots to keep the position there, and he used his submission attacks to do the same thing as well. A great thought out first round by Jake Childers. I imagine the next 4 will go exactly like that unless Josh Neal can do something to stop those takedowns, because they're going to keep coming, I promise.
That was a beautiful round for him, because Neal, the entire round, 3 minutes, had to keep working, keep working, keep working. I mean, if that guy takes a break for just a second, he's probably in a rear naked choke fight over, you know?
Yeah, a lot of energy expended by Josh Neal just defending off the punches and the submission attempts by Jake Childers. Great first round.
Here we go with the start of round 2.
And don't get me wrong, Childers is not somebody who's unwilling to exchange. I've seen him in plenty of battles where him and his opponent just stood there and traded shots back and forth. He is gritty, guys, I'm telling you.
They're exchanging right now.
And that's what he's going to do. He's going to make you, he's going to lull you into the stand-up game, and then he's going to catch a shot.
Almost landed that front kick right there by Neal.
Oh,
big
good
shot
left.
there.
Neal just can't seem to find his range right now.
He's having to deal with the level changes of Childers. He keeps moving up and down.
And also he has to be thinking about
there
the
it
shots.
is.
And that's why. I mean, that's why.
Yep.
An immediate pass to side control. Not looking good for Josh Neal again here in the second round.
Yeah, it's tough when you fight somebody who's so well-rounded that they can hang with you striking, and they can also go for that takedown and be able to pretty much grind you in the dust once they get on top of you.
Yeah, and there you see Josh looking for that right underhook. That's what he's going to need to do to be able to stand up from here, or at least get some sort of separation to make a move.
It can be mentally frustrating and definitely physically exhausting when, you know, you're just fighting this guy off from on top. And just
over and over again, every time you turn, there he is. It starts to wear on you mentally.
Childers
like Matt said, it beats you down.
He's
more than
relentless.
physically. You start to doubt yourself, and when the fighter doubts himself, that's when bad things can happen.
Neal needs to see if he can fight those hands and
Yeah,
get his hips turned
He's
into
got
him.
to explode right here to
Right
try
now,
to turn around.
He just doesn't have an answer for him when he's on top.
Instead of controlling the wrist, he needs to get that right underhook, and he needs this to bounce off the cage, dig deep, and turn Childers around so he can get some separation. Neal wants to keep this fight standing. He's got to stop trying to wrestle with Childers. Let off the head.
Childers staying super tight to Neal.
There he goes. He needs to break away.
He's got to keep an underhook, but it looks like he's worried about those knees.
Josh doing a good job of attacking the head to defend the takedown. little too late as you hear the 10-second clap for the end of the second round, but he's giving some Childers some good shots here at the end.
A good finish, great finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, strong finish to that round by Neal.
I think he definitely needed that for his confidence.
Yeah, it showed that he's still in the fight and he's not willing to let this thing go.
Another one of those scenarios where it makes it kind of tough if you're a judge to call that round for somebody. But it seemed like Childers was able to be pretty advantageous throughout that round, except for the tail end.
Yeah, I think the majority of the round Childers was on top. He was doing work. I think he squeaked out the second round as well. You got to wonder what Neal's corner is going to tell him to get him motivated to maybe work harder to stop these takedowns, because in mixed martial arts, I'm guilty of it. I don't always fight takedowns as hard as I possibly could, because when I say it's chess, if I expend all of my energy stopping this takedown and he expends all of his getting it and he still gets it, that leaves me on bottom with no energy. What if he has just a little bit more in his tank? Then he moves to a better position, and so you're constantly wondering, do I go now? When do I explode? When don't I?
I'll be interested to see if we get to the championship rounds, if the short notice for Childers starts to play a factor in whether or not he can finish those takedowns.
Yeah, I think that guy's in the gym all the time, honestly, Matt.
He came in, he looks like he's in fight shape, and he's obviously here to fight. He's ready to go.
He's a grinder, man. Like I said, he's a wrestler. Those guys, I bet you could walk in off the couch and probably still push out, a good hard 3 rounds just off mentality.
Yeah.
If you believe, you can achieve. Ooh, good combination put together by Childers right into a double.
Oh, nice. Changed levels, hit the double.
He baited him in there, man.
Yeah, beautiful.
Got him to swing real big and lowered his level and back into side control.
It's almost like he uses the striking to sort of lull his opponent to sleep and then goes for that shot so quickly.
He does.
Before you know it, you're down.
He does. He throws so much standing, and they're not power shots. He's not up there throwing bombs on you, but he's punching you in the face. He's making your hands come up, and when they come up, he is attacking the hips.
I think him and Neal, I think they've gotten into a couple exchanges where Neal, when he starts to throw, he starts to stand up taller.
Yeah.
And, Childers has done a great job of seeing that, changing levels, and controlling the fight, really. Oh, here we go.
And a good flurry by Josh. And dives on that guillotine, that slide through. He's going to have to work hard to get it. He needs to put his seatbelt back up. That would be his left leg up on the back of Childers. Otherwise, Childers is going to pass like he did in a possible Vaughn flu if he can get his arm free. Good job by Childers. Avoided some danger there. Josh Neal obviously feeling that he needs to finish Childers to win this fight.
Childers is tough as nails, man. He didn't win this belt by somebody just giving it to him, so we know he's not going to quit. He knows he's got 2 rounds left. But he's got to find a way to keep this fight standing.
Nice knee there by Neal.
See, this is a disadvantage amateurs have as a pro. His head's hanging right there on your hip, and not being able to elbow that head to alleviate some of that pressure has got to be frustrating for Neal.
Yeah, that is a good point, Jordan. I mean, we've seen pros finish fights from right there.
Travis Brown wanted to be, to name just one, I can't think of who was in on that takedown, but he started letting loose those short elbows and knocked him out from that position. That's happened more than once in MMA as well.
Like we talked about before, we're heading into the championship rounds. I don't think we've had a 4-round fight so far, but I don't really question either of these guys' cardio. They both look fine as far as that's concerned, but when you get into these championship rounds, how do things sort of change? How does your mentality change?
Depends on the camp. I mean, your conditioning, that's what's going to tell the tale of how this fight plays out, is who put in more road work, who put in the time outside of the gym, not just coming to practice, but who's doing the extra little things to to be a champion. That's what it takes to make it in this sport. And if you're the guy that would rather sit on your couch one night a week than get out and run you a couple miles, then I guarantee you're going to be the guy sitting on your couch later on live saying, oh, I could have done this or I could have done that, but never did, you know.
Jordan hit on it exactly, you know, who put in the work and who's got, you know, who's got the grit. Who's got the grit to get through this.
Nice catch of a kick by Childers to get the fight right where he wants it.
Yeah, Childers right back at the spot where he wants this fight to be. So Neal is going to, at this point, probably have to try something a little bit different, a little bit out the box to get things going in his favor.
He's just got to Hulk out. He's got to create an opportunity for him to win.
Is hulking out a technical term?
Sometimes.
Very technical.
I will, if you try to choke me, I will Hulk out.
Okay.
There is no technique. I do not like to be choked. You're going to see a fit of rage, and either I'm tapping or I'm sleeping. But
Neal did a great job there standing up.
And if he could have done that a couple more times in the first few rounds, I think he'd find more success on his feet against Childers, being that it would deter Childers from making that takedown. But then again, he's the type of guy that I feel like if you shut him down a couple times, he's going to come right back to it till he gets what he wants. You know?
Jordan, did you see that? It looked like he kind of was starting to lift the elbow, like he wanted to throw that elbow at the head, but
it's
held back.
It's instinctive, man. These guys are fighting. Let them fight. You know, I like knees to the head of a ground opponent, kicks to the head. It forces the fight to not be stale. It doesn't let somebody sit there and play the waiting game or the stall game. It forces the fight. If you have a head on my hip and I can't attack it, you could just stay there all day.
Oh, he's got the hands clasped below the knees.
And
looks like he's going to finish this.
Trip. No.
Oh.
He might be tired. Well, I'm positive he's tired, but. He's going to look to get his head to the outside and maybe drag the pipe on that single or cut back to a double here against the cage. Neal doing a good job of getting that wrist control, trying to nullify the takedown. He needs to either dig deep with an underhook or keep stuffing that head. They teach you as a child, wherever the head goes, the body follows. So by stuffing that head, he'll get his body to stuff down into the ground and stop attacking at his hips.
Who'd you guys have winning in the third round?
I had Childers as well for the third round. Just the grind, the relentless attack. He's very consistent.
Watching this fourth round, I have to say it's a lot closer of a round, though.
Yeah, Neal's doing a good job hanging in there. I think he's still capable of winning the fight at any point in time.
Yeah, he has that power.
I have not completely written him off. But coming to the end of 4 rounds, he definitely needs to win this fifth round to keep his title. Awesome at the end.
Yeah, I love them both guys sort of let their hands fly like that. But yeah, walking into this fifth and final round, I'm wondering if Neal has enough in him to be able to let those hands fly and keep this fight from going to the ground again.
I think he's got enough in him to let the hands fly to catch him with a punch, but I don't know that he can keep him away from getting in on a takedown or pushing him against the cage.
It's the footwork that's going to decide this here. When you get tired, everything becomes a bomb. Your form, your technique, your hips, everything goes out the window, and you're literally expending every morsel of energy you have to throw that punch. And so a lot of times technique is terrible. Feet are close together. You bring your hips too far in with you because you're too aggressive, and that's great for a wrestler. You don't need anything. You don't need any energy expended to get a guy taken down when he's in bad position. You can literally tip him over.
I feel like his best chance here might be to catch him in a choke. He's been close a couple of times, but
I think he should look for a flying knee of some sort.
I like it.
A guy that's constantly looking for that shot. Any sort of body connection, I would throw a jump knee straight up.
And probably early on, too.
Yeah, as when you have the energy to finish it.
There we go.
I mean, he's going to shoot here soon. You know he is. Yeah, he might eat a couple punches, but that shot is coming.
Yep, I heard the corners there. He's going to step into your takedown. They're telling him not to engage. They want him to come forward so that he can change levels and hit that double leg like he has been.
Good knee pick attempt.
You can tell Neal sort of wants to run in.
There he goes.
But that's exactly what could happen.
Neal working hard.
Looks like
he knows what's on the line here. He knows he needs the finish. Childers got some anguish on his face, but I think for the most part, he's free of this guillotine.
He just doesn't want him to step over.
Yeah. I would fight the hands more than I would punch the body. And he gets out of it. Neal's going to have to do a lot of work to get up here and turn this fight around.
This is where you wonder, you know, how much gas, how much energy has been expended. Both guys don't look overly tired, but you can tell that Neal is working really hard right now trying to get back up.
Yeah, these guys are animals. The amount of rolling, the grappling that they have put themselves through in this 5.
Guys, that looks tight.
That looks pretty deep.
I'm impressed with the action and the speed that's still going on in the 5th round.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, these guys have done a lot of work, and they're still not sluggish. They're still moving very fluently.
And Neal with 2 sub attempts that almost were successful, but almost doesn't count right now. 30 seconds left, it looks like, in this round.
Childers doing a good job, staying on top, working, staying busy. Good fight, impressed.
Yeah, 5 rounds, this is when it's gonna go to the judges.
5 rounds, there wasn't a boring spot in the whole fight.
No,
it was
definitely
continuous action from the 1st to the 5th. And I mean, I'm sure anybody can see that was a fight that was won by Jake Childers. He came in here short notice, took the fight, grinded out 5 hard-fought rounds, and I believe he is going to become your Caged Aggression lightweight champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the judges' scorecards for this decision. Our judges scored this contest 48-47 Neal, 50-45 Childers, and 49-46, declaring your winner by split decision and new.
Okay, 2 judges got it right. I'm not sure what the
split decision.
I'm not sure what the other one was watching, but I
Caged
mean, they might
Aggression
have seen a
amateur
completely
lightweight
total different fight than
champion,
what we did.
Jake
Did he give him
Childers.
rounds 3, 4, and 5, or what?
I don't know. From what I seen, I can't tell you any round that Josh Neal won. But like I said, maybe their view was different than mine. Yeah.
All right, I'm here with your
right
winner
won.
and new Caged Aggression amateur lightweight champion, Jake Childers. Jake took this one on somewhat short notice, moved up a weight class, and looks like everything worked out for you tonight. What's going through your mind, buddy?
I'm just happy to get in here and get out with the win. Like I said, Josh is a really tough opponent and everything like that, and to fight him after a week's notice and everything, it was definitely hard to get it done.
Now, I know you've been aching to get back in here, get a little bit of redemption after your last outing in the Caged Aggression cage. Did anything happen that caught you by surprise or that you weren't exactly expecting tonight?
Not really. Like I said, everything that he came in here with, I pretty much trained for really good, and like I said, I was pretty much aware of what he was going to try to do to me.
All right, so now that you got the new belt, are we staying up here? What's the plans moving forward here, Jake?
Actually, this is probably going to be my last amateur fight. I plan on moving up to pro now and seeing how I can do there.
All right, well, you heard it here first, fans. Jake Childers moving up to the professional division. Is there anything that you want to add before I let you get back to the locker room?
Like I said, I'd just like to thank all my coaches, Bob Long, Ryan Smith, and every my teammates and family for coming and watching me, and just thanks for everybody else for coming too.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time after a hard-fought victory for your new Caged Aggression Amateur Lightweight Champ, Jake Childers.